Hello, I'm Dr. Purnima Upadhyay Pandalpalli, and I am here today to discuss with you the COVID-19 virus, the epidemic, which has turned into a pandemic now, because it is affecting every single continent except for Antarctica. At this point of time, every single continent has had thousands of people infected with this virus, which belongs to the coronavirus family, which is not all that supposed to be that dangerous, but it is one of the new ones, or this particular strain or species or the type of coronavirus was not seen before. That is why we do not have immunity against this particular virus. You've heard there's so much information that's available out there, and I'm sure that you're very well aware of the origin of this virus. There are many conspiracy theories going on as well, and I highly encourage us not to get involved in those things, such as why that. And again, I don't even want to talk about this as a particular country that was responsible for, or that's where it came from. And that is one of the reasons, as you see, we are avoiding the terminology actually of using the name of the place or the origin of this virus as the name for the virus, because that does create some sort of it's understandable at the same time, but irrespective, it is of no value at this time. So in a situation like this, when we're in a crisis mode, it is very imperative, it's important to focus on what matters the most. What matters the most right now is to limit the mortality from this virus. So the most important things that we must do is avoid the exposure to the virus, stay away from large crowds. Don't go into places where you know there's a high likelihood, high chance of getting the exposure. Limit the exposure, limit the exposure, limit the exposure. That's the only thing that can save you and me. So it's very important to give our body and our population at large the time to develop that immunity. It takes 3 months at the minimum. And once we are immune, once we have developed that immunity, it's going to be fine. But we need that 3 months time. And that is why they are asking us to prevent any exposure for 2 weeks, maybe longer, a little bit longer, maybe 3 to 4 weeks. Have there been studies done? Of course, it happened so quickly that we are all flabbergasted. We just do not know what to do and how to respond to this. And the next thing I want to discuss is who are the people who are more susceptible to get infected when they are exposed to the virus. So let's say this is a family of 5 people, 6 people. We have grandparents, we have parents, and then we have children. Okay, so 2 each. So the family of 6. Okay, so now we all get exposed to the virus by mistake, by chance, but whatever. And now who is going to be affected most? Most likely to be affected significantly and to the extent that it might affect their health in really adverse way, can even kill them, would be the grandparents, because they're above the age 60, 70, above the age 70 particularly. As we get older, we tend to accumulate health conditions, so they have underlying health issues. They all invariably always have high blood pressure, a bit of congestive heart failure. They're taking some of the medications that we know could increase the susceptibility of catching this, or not catching, but likelihood of it developing into pneumonitis. So they are going to be at highest risk of this problem. Next, us, the parents. So next comes the question, is that the only test that is available, or do we have other ways of testing? We do have other ways of testing, and these are the antibody based testing. So basically it tests for the IgM or the IgG immunoglobulins. These are the protein, these are the immune response that your body brings up when it's exposed to any virus or a bacteria or a microbe. So we're going to be checking for that immune response in terms of immunoglobulin, the presence or absence of immunoglobulin. This is a bit easier to do and is a little bit more sensitive. And again, there's a timing for this testing, because again, the RT-PCR is really good for the initial part of the disease process, and the immunoglobulin is better for the latter part of the disease process, when we want to know if the person has already been exposed or is still susceptible to the infection. So those are the little details, and again, lots. It's amazing at the how quickly the testing is becoming available and how many different types of testing are becoming available. So it's going to become it's easier. But no, I mean that again is a part about the research and development, and it takes a little bit of time. But coming back, the first thing that you and I can do is to avoid the exposure. And it is as simple as staying in your area, in your room, in your house, and not getting prevented dawn exposure. Because if you don't flatten the curve, this is going to be a tsunami. Essentially, it's a flood waters that we will not be able to handle. That's for sure. So the responsibility lies essentially on you, on me, on all of us. So please take the lockdown seriously. It's not a joke. It's a serious, it has serious implications. I'm very happy to see the extent of strictness, or how stringent the governments are and the authorities have been in trying to impose this. Let's help them stay out of trouble, and we all will be fine very soon. We just have to wait a little longer to develop the herd immunity, and we shall be fine.